So now that we can read our blog posts on the home page, I want to add the add post page, all right, which will have a form with fields that we can fill in to add a post. And we're even going to use a module so that we can include an editor, because when you have a blog and you're entering the body, it's not in just a plain text area. You want some kind of editor so that you can format your text, insert images, change colors, things like that. Alright, so we're going to have to do this in the posts routes. So we want to go to routes and then create a new file. And we're going to, actually this is right. Alright, so posts.js. And by default you may have an users.js in here. You can actually just get rid of that. That's not needed. Alright, but we do need now to go to app.js, and we need to require the post route. So I'm going to replace this users with posts, change this to posts, and down here we want to change this to posts, and finally change this to posts. Okay, and we'll save that and then open up the posts route. And you want to add your requirements. Okay, so Express, router, and then the MongoDB credentials. Alright, now to create a route, let's open up index. We want to do router.get. Oh, we need to put this at the bottom too. Don't forget that. Alright, so just like that index, we want to say router.get, and we want /add. Okay, so the URL to add a post should be /posts/add. Alright, and since we're in the post.js file, we don't have to include posts right here. It already knows because we're in that route. Alright, so add, and then the next parameter will be a function, and this function is going to take a request, a response, and next. Alright, and we're going to set a variable. Actually, right now we just want this to render the form, so we're just going to say res.render, and let's see, the view that we want to render is going to be add post. Okay, and actually no, we don't want to do that. We just want some curly braces. Alright, so in the last video let's just pass in a title. So we'll say title is, actually we have to put parentheses, quotes around this. So title will be add post. And that should be it for now. Eventually we need to grab our categories and insert them in the form so that we can choose a category. But for now I think this will be okay. So we'll save. And then we need to make that view. So node blog views. And we're going to call this add post.jade. Okay, and we'll open that up. I'm just going to paste in this Jade stuff, alright, and just go over it because I don't want to take too long typing this out. Basically, we have an H1, which is going to display the title, which we're passing right here, and then we're going to have some, if we have any errors, it's going to loop through them and display the errors in a list item with the class of alert and alert danger. Alright, and then this will be error.message. And this is going to be coming from the validator because we're going to have to validate the fields that we type in here. Alright, then we have a form. The method is post. Obviously, it's getting post to the server. action is going to be post/add. Okay, so that's basically, here we're saying we're making a get request to add. With that, we need to make the post request. Okay, so we'll do that next. We're including this enc type multi-part form data because we have a file uploader. Down here you can see we have the main image. Okay, so this is going to be a file upload. Up here we just have the title, which is just a text field. Category is just an empty select form for now. We need to populate that with categories. We'll do that in a minute. Then we have the body, which is a text area. And then we have the image, and the author is basically going to be just a static select form. And then we have the button, the save button. So let's go ahead and save that, and we want to restart the server and go back, and then we'll visit post/add, and there's our form. Not very good looking, but it is displaying. I want to just add a little bit of styling to this form before we move on. So I'm going to go to our style sheet. And I'm just going to style just form fields in general. Okay, so first let's do the label. Label, I just want to display inline block. And I'm going to make it a width of 180. Alright, next we'll do the text area. Input text and selects. So we'll say input, and I want to grab the type. Actually, no, those. I want to say type and then equals text, and also select areas and text area. Alright, and we're going to just set some padding. We'll give it a height of 20, a width of 200, and a border 1 pixel gray solid. Alright, now for just the select, we want to make those a little bigger height wise. So selects, we'll say 28, and then for text area I want to set the height to 70. Alright, and then the width, we'll set that to 400. Alright, and that should make our form look a little better. Okay. I do want to separate these a little. So let me see. Let's try input, margin bottom, 15 pixels. Okay, so that's just the input. We want select, and text area. Alright, good. So that looks good. Now we need to work on wherever the form is sent to, alright, which is going to be, where is it? It's going to be in here. So in post.js, we want router.post. Okay, make sure you do post. And this is going to be /add, and then we want a function, and the function is going to take rec, res, and next. And the first thing we want to do is get the form values. get form values. So the first one we'll get is the title. So title will be equal to rec.body.title. Alright, now this title right here is coming from the form. If we go to the Jade file, you can see that title, it has a name of title. Okay, so that's where we get that. Okay, next one will be the category. So category equals rec.body.category. Okay, now the body itself will be body equals rec.body.body. Okay, author. And date. So for the date, we're not going to get that from the form. We're just going to create a new date. Alright, and that'll give us the current date and time. Alright, and let's just space these out a bit, make them readable. Alright, and now we can do what we want with the submitted fields. Now the image is going to be different. We can't just grab it with this request.body. Alright, the first thing we want to do is check for it. Alright, now actually we want to stay in here. So we're going to say if request.files, not request.body, request.files dot main image, and this main image text is coming from the form right here. Alright, so if request files dot main image, and we want to put an else here before I forget. Alright, and the main function in here, what we want to do is we want to define variables for all the information on the file. So the image name, the original name, the path, the image size, things like that. And we're not going to use them all, but I just like to have them in a variable in case later on we need to. Alright, so we'll start with the original name. So main image, original name. Okay, that's going to equal rec.files.mainimage.original name. Alright, next one is just the image name, which is going to be basically what the name is turned into after it's uploaded. And it will do that automatically. So main, I'm just going to call this one main image name. And we'll set that to rec.files.mainimage.name. Alright, I'm going to paste the rest of them in here. Alright, so actually let me just push this over a little, make it readable. So we have the MIME type, if we need it, the path, the extension of the image, so JPEG or PNG or GIF, and then the image size. Alright, so we have all that available to us if we need it. But the one that we're going to need, that we're going to submit to the database, is this main image name. Alright, so if it's there, it's going to be equal to that. Now if it's not, we still want that variable. I'm going to say variable main image name, and then we're just going to set that to basically whatever you want the default image to be. So we'll just say no image.png, and you can create this image and have that show in the blog post whenever the person didn't actually upload an image. Hope that makes sense. Alright, so now that we get all that stuff, we can go ahead and do the validation. and we've done this before, so we're going to say rec dot check body,